to remind you about the Children's Resource page. It's on the Bournemouth Community Church website. Link is right here. Jot it down, go check it out. There's links to playlists on our BCC Kids YouTube page, and it's updated weekly with the latest Children's Church Live video too. So here's the link again. Jot it down, go check it out. Let's stay connected. Let's keep adventuring with Jesus. I'll see you soon.
It's important to us because it gives us a real sense of belonging in a big church.
Life group is important to me because you get to know people better.
It's a great way of connecting with new people our age.
We really love life groups. Life groups are really important to us.
For a starter, to find out that there are people as crazy as you.
Meeting new people.
It's being family.
There's a real sense of family.
In a group of people who love you, who support you.
Because it gives us the opportunity to build relationships.
It's great to learn together and to pray for each other.
We find that it's a safe place. Sundays can be a bit of a crowd and it's more anonymous, but life group is really quite personal, which is lovely.
And where we have lots of fun together.
And where we can share our hearts and we can pray for each other.
There's lots of support, intimacy and love.
You can be open, you can be honest, you can ask any question.
You can be encouraged.
And an opportunity to make new friendships and have fun.
But also to have a laugh with.
You can be really helped.
During the week, we continue talking to each other and improving that connection through WhatsApp.
Time to just connect with God, with those around you.
And on life group evenings, we really dig in deep into the Word. We chew on the meat, and it's proper study.
When we do discussions, I take loads of notes, which is good.
I couldn't do without life group.
It's togetherness in the current isolation.
And there's always cake.
A big thank you to the life groups who have been a big encouragement in our walk with the Lord.
Bye.
I love life group. Stop it.
It doesn't work, does it?
Yeah, it's going to work.
Okay.
Ready? 1.
Hey families, if you're anything like me, I love to have fun all week long. And where can you do that, you ask? It's the BCC Kids YouTube page. It's the home of Children's Church Live, which we hold here in the Kids Studio each week, where we journey, explore and adventure with Jesus. It's great fun. There's also loads of other videos, games, challenges, songs, crafts that you can pick out and watch all week long on the page, whether you're in Beams, Oaks and Acorns, Sparklers, 5 Alive or 7 Up. Great fun to be had on the BCC Kids YouTube page. Link is in the description. I'm going to have a Belgian bun. You can eat food while watching the videos too. Brilliant.
Best lesson of life is play American football and hit people. That's a great one. My name's Mclean. I am by trade a biomedical scientist, but I'm currently the haematology laboratory manager at the Royal Bournemouth Hospital. I got to Alpha through quite a circumventual method. I'm really pleased that Keith did invite me, because it probably is something that I wouldn't have got the courage to attend myself, as much as I may have been interested in it. And having him there and figuratively holding my hand through the process helped enormously. Something had just prompted me to ask him, tell me, as a man of religion, what do you think of? And I didn't even get as far as asking what that question would be, because he said, let me just stop you right there. I'm a man of faith, not a man of religion. He then comes along and says, oh, there's an opportunity for an Alpha course, and I think you'd be really good. Just felt like a safe environment to be able to share some experiences that were were potentially quite painful and raw, and you didn't feel unable to do that. You felt that nobody was going to make any judgments. They were all there listening to your experiences, and it pretty much didn't matter what you said. You were going to have support and people who would talk you honestly through what you had heard and give you something good to hear. But because we had a mixture of some people who were unsure but looking for answers, some people who were fairly happy with where they were within their faith, and other people who knew exactly and were there to assist in the conversations, I felt a warmth, and I felt a willingness to open the door. And then that just grew from there to the point where I was happy on Easter Sunday to say yes to Jesus. I would absolutely recommend people going along to Alpha at whatever stage you may be. If it's at the right end where you don't believe at all, but there might just be a little inkling, or you've stepped away from the faith for a bit and you want to just go into an environment where you can discuss it, absolutely, and invite people along. It's a great experience. It's been a wonderful journey, and I've met some amazing people, and the church feels like a family, and it is something that I desperately needed at that point in my life, and I will forever be grateful for that.
morning, everybody. Good morning,
Hello.
BCC. If you are here, hello. If you are watching online, you are very welcome
Super
too.
welcome. Fantastic. Hey, we're going to carry on. We've been looking at King David with the kids in the kids' studio. You might have caught a bit if you've switched over. If not, don't worry. We're carrying on King David's story. The colour this week is yellow. We've been looking at a colour of a different crayon each week. This week is yellow. We've actually got quite a few yellow crayons on our set. I'm in yellow, which is super fitting. These two didn't get the memo. Disappointing. Emma has blonde hair though. So.
I love yellow, Sam.
Oh, good.
It's one of my top 50 colours.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wow, that's amazing, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you for that fun fact.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So good. But yellow, what is the bottom line this week, Tim?
The bottom line this week that we're thinking about this morning.
Yeah.
Well, it is. We're thinking about King David, we're thinking about the colour yellow, and we're thinking about how sometimes scary things can happen to us, but even through that we can trust God because he's in control.
Oh, yes.
So,
Amazing.
very excited about
Amazing.
that.
Super excited.
Shall we kick off with the game this
I think
morning?
so.
Yes?
I think so.
Okay. So
Yeah.
everyone on your feet, adults
Amazing.
too. There is no excuse this morning. It's Kids Studio Takeover. Here we go. You going to explain, Samwise?
I've got a little coin. It's actually a little trolley coin. You know the ones you put in and then you get back rather than a pound coin. I have one of those. That's the only coin that's been in my wallet for so long because I've not used cash. But we're going to play heads and tails. But obviously you can't shout out whether you're going heads or tails. You need to show us. So, because in the kids' studio we're a bit different, heads means you touch your head. And here's the different bit. If it's tails, you touch your knees. Just makes it obvious for us to see. So, heads, where'd you touch? Head, tails, you touch your knees. So, I'm going to flip a coin. Em, you're going to have to then take over because I need to put this down to flip the coin. Use two hands.
Sure.
If you get it right, you stay stood up. If you get it wrong, you sit down. And I'm afraid that you're out, but you can still enjoy and cheering on your favourite people that are still in the game. Or maybe just pray for them quietly. That would be lovely. Okay?
Tim, you are playing for Ultimate Champion, okay? You have got to win.
See how long Tim can stay in.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put my mic down and we'll get going.
Okay, I'm going to come and have a look.
So when do we vote? When do we say?
So choose now, heads or tails.
Okay.
No
Everyone's going for heads, I
changing.
think. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, locked in?
Yep, locked in.
Tails.
It is tails.
Yes!
So if you chose heads, sit down. If you are still in, choose again, heads or tails. Okay, no changing.
From Hannah, it is tails again.
Tails again. If you are still in, give us a wave. Okay, we still have a few. Perfect. Choose now, heads or tails. Ooh.
Tails again.
Tails again. Woohoo! Do we have a champion? Oh, we have two.
Oh, hang on, Julia's still in.
Julia as well. Okay, choose heads or tails, you two. One tails, one heads.
Heads.
It is heads.
Rob Hurley.
Rob is the
winner.
ultimate champion. Amazing.
Fantastic. Rob, you have
Congratulations.
bragging rights over everyone in this room and all those at home, though we don't know whether you won at home. But well done. If you did stay into that point, you also can be a winner. Amazing. Each time we do a teaching series, we do a memory verse. We've been looking at Psalm 103, verse 11. Chrissy's going to come up. I'm going to show us some actions. I'm going to do them with her as we do some actions to help us know these words of the memory verse. So let's jump in with that.
So, as Sam said, we've been learning Psalm 103, verse 11. If you've got a Bible, you want to look it up, that's absolutely fine. We've been practicing it, and if I get it wrong, I'm really sorry. I taught this first. You'd think I'd know it really well by now, wouldn't you? But I still keep getting it wrong. So we are, for as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is his love for those who fear him. And now we're going to kneel down. I'm not going to kneel down, because if I kneel down, I'm not going to get back up again. So kneel down and put your hands together as if you're praying. Psalm 103, verse 11. Do it behind your masks. I can't ask you to shout it out. I'm not allowed. But let's try it again, see if we can get it. So, for as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is his love for those who fear him. Psalm 103, verse 11. Fantastic job. Keep practicing it. We do memory verses because they're really good to help us remember bits of the Bible so we can take them with us everywhere we go. So it's really helpful, not just for children, but for adults too. So keep practicing your memory verses, guys. Fantastic.
Brilliant. Thank you, Chrissy. I will keep practicing that so it stays in my head, a truth to take with me everywhere I go. We love to worship as family here at BCC. We're going to get you to get on your feet. We've got some action songs to do. There's going to be a team of us up the front. Join in as much as you want or little, but we can worship God how we feel comfortable here this morning. So get up on your feet, hum behind that mask, do the actions. Let's just worship God together. I'm going to pray and then I'll hand over to James and the band. So, Father God, thank you that we can be family here together to worship you, to praise you, to learn actions for the songs, for the memory verses, but to learn that when things can get scary, you are a God we can trust in to help us through them. As our focus is that bottom line this morning, just be speaking to our hearts this morning as we come into a place of worship and praise of you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hand. He's higher than the skyscraper and deeper than the submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He's known me and He's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hand. Sing our God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hand. He's higher than the skyscraper and deeper than the submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He's known me and He's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Let's sing the chorus one last time. He's higher than the skyscraper and deeper than the submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He's known me and He's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. Gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. Gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. Gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. I will run this race and I will never stop. I will follow Jesus till the day I drop. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you got such a lot, when you got not a lot, what? Be happy. Gonna jump down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. Gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. Gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. Gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. I will run this race and I will never stop. I'll follow Jesus till the day I'll drop. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you got such a lot, when you got not a lot, what? Be happy. Sing the chorus one time. Jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. Gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. In my wrestling, in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promises. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are my peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promises. He will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead me through the storm. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead me through. One more time. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead me through the chorus. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promises. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore.
just need to grab my drink. Whew. Oh, it's me again. Okay, it's craft time. Have you all got your craft bags? Excellent. There's not a lot in your craft bag. You will find a tiny piece of oven-baked clay. If you unwrap it, it's wrapped in cling film. Make it nice and squishy. And we are going to make a little, it says on my instructions, it's called Brave for Your Pocket, which I quite like. We're going to make a brave for your pocket. Make your dough nice and squishy, and you're going to make it into any shape you fancy, as long as you can fit some letters on it. Okay, so you might want to just make a circle, you might want to make a heart, you might want to make a square. Mine happens to have gone into a square shape, so I'm going to go with square. Once you've got it, you need to make sure that it's about 1/2 centimetre thick. Okay, so you get a reasonable sized piece with a reasonable amount of space. These lights are really hot, by the way, just in case you're wondering why I'm so sweaty. After doing all that dancing and then having these lights, it's quite hot. Okay, so once you've done that, you need your cocktail stick. I also can't really see you all very well, so I can't tell if you're keeping up or not. So please shout if I'm going too fast. Get your cocktail stick. You just need to make a hole. Be careful, don't stab yourself. You're going to make a hole through it so that you can thread your ribbon on later. You might want to twizzle it around a bit to get a decent-sized hole. There you go. Don't know if you can see. Why? Oh, no, you dropped it. Don't know if you can see mine. I've got quite a big hole. How you doing? Everybody keeping up? Excellent. Once you have done that, you're going to try and write the word brave. Okay, so that's B. I'm going to do it one letter at a time so I can tell you them at the same time. B. R. If you know how to spell it, feel free to go on ahead. A. V. And an E. Ooh, E's a bit tricky. There we go, brave. How does it look? Mine's a bit wonky. I might redo mine later, actually. How does it look? Everybody happy? Give me a thumbs up if you're happy. Excellent. I can see some thumbs. I can see some happy people. Excellent. That's it. It's really that simple, but there's more to it because you've now got to take it home. You need to put it in your oven. You put it on a piece of foil on a baking tray. I'll put all these instructions in the Facebook group as well. If you're not in the Facebook group, then we can put them somewhere else as well. Put them in the oven on a piece of foil on 120 degrees centigrade for half an hour. When you take it out, let it cool before you touch it because it will be really, really hot, but it will be really hard as well. So once it's cooked and it's gone hard, you've got your bit of ribbon and you'll be able to thread it through the hole and then you can wear it. If you want to put it somewhere else, you might have a spare key ring that you could put it on to help you remember. And then it's just pocket size, so you can keep it in your pocket. And just as we're about to find out about in a minute, it's going to help us to remember that we can be brave because we've got God on our side. Okay? Excellent. Well done, everybody.
Fantastic. I'm reliably informed that it's not edible. So no eating it, kids, or adults either. Hi, I'm Rog. I'm one of the team here. If you don't know who I am, welcome for you who've gathered here at our family time. It's amazing to have so many of you here. Well done for gathering. Now, today is a momentous day. For those of you who've known me, I've been around here for 25 years, and today I am doing something that I have never, ever done, ever before in this church. It's a first. Can anybody guess what that is? Something interesting? No? Thank you very much, son. That's very good. Hey, you're out of my will. Anything else? Okay. Change has happened, but the camera is not showing that online, which is great. But if the camera just drops slightly, this is the first time I've worn shorts on a Sunday morning. Thank you. I feel absolutely liberated, but I've still got nagging someone in the back of my, why have you got shorts on and you're on the front? So, hey, change. Change is happening, isn't it, everybody? Some of us love the word change. Some of us hate the word change, and we think it is actually not in the English dictionary, but it is. We don't like change because it takes us from the normal things that we're used to and puts us into places that we feel slightly strange over. Monday the 19th, tomorrow is Change Day, everybody. Freedom Day, as they say. We actually are allowed to sing. Do you know, the voice of our souls is going to be liberated, and that's going to be amazing. So, from the 1st of August, we're not going to have any more watch party services. We will still be online, but we're going to have together services so that we can gather. So if you guys are online, you can come and join us here. You don't have to sign in. It's the importance of gathering together. As leaders, we've been praying for all of us and ourselves about what God would want us to do over this next 3 months primarily. And there are 2 words that really have come through. Togetherness is really important. I know you know that. And actually our communities have discovered that, haven't they? They've discovered that being together, knowing one another, is actually vital when life is hard. And the other one is intimacy, the importance of intimacy of worship and how we felt restricted. You see, when we follow Jesus, we're part of the family, and that's why being family is such an important aspect of our togetherness. And we've done that in life groups. I've got an amazing life group. Whoop, whoop. We're often together. In the past, we used to eat together and do everything together, but we've still been able to gather together, and that's so important. But actually gathering together on the large, or as many of us as can, is equally as important. You know, you've just learned a memory verse, and there's another little verse in the Bible that tells us that actually where 1, 2, 3, or more than just one are gathered, then we meet the presence of God also. So I really want to encourage you, in these days to come and gather. Now, because Professor Whitty, and also because we're in the place of a pandemic that is actually rising and increasing with the numbers of COVID cases, we want to make that transition steadily. And part of that transition will mean that as you gather on the 1st of August, because we want to honor the hands, face and space motto, which is still going on there, we would encourage you to wear a mask even when we're singing. I know that sounds strange, but it will help us in that transition for some who maybe will be a little bit worried about gathering. Downstairs, where some of you are gathered already, that will be set up in some small tables and some chairs, so you can gather around that. Or if you prefer to gather upstairs, then you can do that. But there's also going to be enough space for you just to be away from others if that's your preference. There's actually no shame in that. We want to accommodate everybody because the unity and the importance of preferring one another as we gather together to worship Him is really, really important. So, if you haven't been for a long time, come. If you've been many times, just the watch party services, come because you can sing. If you're not too sure about how to sign in, you don't have to do that anymore. But there are things that you can just actually make us aware that you've come in with a little app. But we really want to be together. And we really want to be intimate in our worship. When we miss something, we always want the thing that we miss. And actually, I really want to say one other thing. When we gather, we're all going to have our personal preferences, but we need to let down our personal preferences of what we've missed to ensure that together we come to worship, just like we are today, just like when we gather in all other times. So I'm going to pray now. And then we're going to continue with our morning. Come, be together and worship in intimacy. It's going to be great. Father, thank you so much that we're able to gather. So many countries you still can't. Father, thank you that you created us to be a family from all different backgrounds, ages, sizes, countries, nations, to be the family of God. Everyone is welcome. And as we gather to be together, Lord, would you help us? But as we gather, we're gathering for you so that we can bring our songs of worship, so we can tell you from the words of our souls, which connect with our voices in song, that we love you and we worship you. We do pray for our country right now, that you continue to give wisdom to those who lead us and govern, and to those who look after us in the hospitals and the care agencies, and the teachers who look after us during school term. Would you be with them now and give them the energy and resources they need? And now, Lord, as we learn about being brave, speak to us, we pray. Amen. Thanks, guys.
Okay, it is story time. If you have not already eaten your biscuits, I've seen a few packets open. Now is your moment. Thank you, Sam. So who can remember what we looked at last week? We're all very shy. That's not good, is it? That's not helpful at all. All right, thanks. Thank you. Thanks. That's good. That's good. That's good. Off you go. This is my moment now. Okay, story time. Exciting. Last week we looked at that bit where King Saul was super jealous of David. He was so angry that David was way cooler that he tried throwing the spears, but he missed. Turns out King Saul is not good with spears. We are going to move on to the next chapter, which is chapter 20 of 1 Samuel, okay? And we are going to see what happens there. So King David, or he's not king yet, David is still about. And he is suddenly cottoning on to the fact that Saul is not so impressed with him. Saul's been hearing all the rumors, all the people are talking about him. They're saying, David, he can kill tens and thousands of men, but Saul can only do thousands. He's rubbish. We prefer this David guy. So King Saul's like, not happy with that. Let's kill off David. So he goes on a little hunt. David's like, yeah, I realize that I am in danger now. So he decides to go and find his pal, Jonathan. Here comes Jonathan. Here he is. And they are bros for life. They are the bestest friends in the whole entire world. They absolutely love each other. And he goes, Jonathan, eek, I'm super scared. King Saul is after me. He is coming to get me. Bad news. I think he wants me dead. Bad news. And then Jonathan listens to David and he's like, bad news. Very bad news. King Saul is my dad. This is going to make things awkward. And so, despite having the bromance of a lifetime, they are under some tricky circumstances, and they are pretty scared. But David decides, I have an idea. I am going to come up with a super plan to save my bacon, to keep myself safe. There's a festival coming, a really cool festival, and I have had an invite from not only the man himself, the king, and he has asked me, David, come and eat all the finest foods at my table with me. So that is obviously going to be chips and chicken. Amazing. And David's like, do I fancy going to sit next to King Saul? Do I fancy that? The guy that just threw spears at me, is that going to be a good idea? So he's like, no thanks. I don't think that is going to be a good idea at all. I'm going to come up with a plan. And this is my plan. Jonathan sat listening. David goes, I'm going to go and hide in a field. Super plan, David, super plan. He's in the field. And then when the days go by, 1, 2, and 3 of this amazing festival, I'm going to stay there and hide in this field. Jonathan's like, okay, so what's going to happen if he asks me where you are? And David's like, it's okay. Just tell him I have gone to Bethlehem to make a sacrifice, and we will see whether he gets angry. Do you think he's going to get angry? Yeah, I think, no, we're not so sure. So they're like, super plan, foolproof, nothing can go wrong now. We will totally know if King Saul is angry, but he shouldn't be because I'm going to Bethlehem to make a sacrifice. So they go, the two of them, the ultimate friendship, they go, do you know what? I know what we need to go and do now. We need to go and have a look at this patch of grass. That is what we need to do for our plan. So off they go, the bros, here they go. They're off to the field. And they're like, what can we do to make this super cool friendship even better? I know, let's make a pinky promise, an oath, because we're super cool buds, that we're going to look out for each other in this super scary time. If it gets to day 3, let's stick that one there. If it gets to day 3, Jonathan will do the following. He will fire arrows, because we couldn't make this any cooler. We couldn't. We're going to fire some arrows into some rocks, and that will let you know, David, whilst you're sat in your field, that perhaps danger is on its way. So the festival starts, day 1 happens, King Saul sat at his table eating his chicken and chips, and he's like, no, David, all right, we'll let him off this once. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Day 2 comes around, and he notices that there is no David. He is outraged. Where on earth is David? He looks at Jonathan, and Jonathan's like, aha, I know this part of the plan. I've got this sussed. And he goes, he's gone to Bethlehem to make a sacrifice. And he's well pleased with himself because he delivered his part perfectly, but still, King Saul, with it super angry, he's got super angry eyebrows. I don't know if you can see that at home. He is livid. He's like, that is outrageous. So he decides that he is going to try that spear throwing thing again. And he throws it at Jonathan and misses because he is Saul and he is not good with his spear. And Jonathan goes, danger, danger, must warn my best mate David. So he heads off to the field. Here he goes. And he's like, I know this part of the plan too. It's the best bit in the grass with the arrows. So he fires his first arrow at the rock. And he fires his second one at the rock. And he fires his third one at the rock. And David's like, it's my part now. David's like, yes, I have seen that there are 3 arrows. And I've heard him say to the little boy, go and fetch those arrows. David pops up from his grass where he's been for days. Pretty gross, not going to lie. And he's like, okay, what is the plan? What is the story? I'm super frightened. I've been here waiting, trusting, talking to God, but I'm still super, super frightened. Jonathan, what are you going to do? And Jonathan goes, yep, turns out he really does want to kill you. You are in danger. And so they know this is the moment where David really, really must leave. He must go into hiding. And because they love each other so much, they are the ultimate bros. They cry and they cry and they cry some more. But they know that in order to be safe, they have to be brave and they have to leave each other and head their separate ways. And in that scary, scary, scary moment, they know that their trust in one another and their trust in God is what is going to get them through the scary moments of Saul's anger. And Sam is going to come and unpack that a little bit more for us. Thank you, Sam.
Amazing. Trust. In our scary times, in those scary times, we can trust God to help us through them. Saul is not happy with David. Emma said it again. He's envious. He's jealous. David is better. He's got God's anointing on him. That's something we learned in the first week with the kids. We saw Samuel anoint David. He's going to be the next king. Saul knows he's not in God's favor and he's not happy about it. He wants David out of the picture. David is on the run. In the last chapter, he got help from Jonathan and his wife, Mclean, to get out of there and get away, which is where we see him in this field. He's got this amazing friend in Jonathan, this bromance, as Emma has coined it. They are the bestest and bestest of friends. Can you think of a friend like Jonathan? Who can you think in your head, everyone here, who's a Jonathan to you? For me, it's probably Emma. Soppy moment. Best friend ever. Hey. But you can think of them. We've got friends, and God puts those people in our lives to be our best friends. So David is aware that Saul wants him dead. He's going out into this field. He's alone, which isn't good. He spent time alone before, because if we remember, David was a shepherd. He looked after the sheep. He would have spent a lot of time away from his family and some of his friends looking after the sheep out in the wilderness a little bit alone. But this is different. He doesn't even have the sheep to talk to now. He's going to be a little bit scared. He must be. One of the most powerful men he's ever met wants him dead, and he's going to be able to do it if he really, really tried. He's really got to try hard to trust that the plan is going to come together, that he's put together with Jonathan. But he's got to be trusting in God in those moments, waiting to know whether Saul's anger has gone away and he's not angry anymore, or if he is still angry and wants David dead. He's going to try his spear throwing again, which has failed 3 times now. He's chucked 3 spears the last couple of weeks, and all of them have missed. Not very good, or God being in that too. What things might have been scary for you? Let's have a little think about that. David is feeling scared. He's alone. He's out in a field. Maybe going back to school has been a little bit scary at moments for you guys. To be going back into that space where it's opened up a little bit a while ago to see friends again. Maybe that was scary to begin with. Maybe it is actually having to go back to some of your clubs, the after-school activities that must be so much fun to do. But maybe in those first moments, it was scared to go, do you know what? I'm going to go back to my clubs and I'm going to step back in and see friends again and be amongst people that I haven't seen for a long time. Maybe you've been brave and you've started a new club that you've not been to before and you're not sure who's going to be there. Is there going to be a friend that might be at the door waiting for us? God puts those people in those places for us. When I was growing up, I'm going to be a bit honest with you kids, I wasn't the biggest fan of school at times. There was days where I really liked it and I wanted to go, and I'd go along happy as Larry, ready to go. I've got my friends. I'm blessed to have a twin, so he was never far away. We were in separate classes, but I had that as a comfort to be going into school with my twin brother Nathan. But there was days where I really didn't want to. And if you ask my mum and dad, they will really say that I didn't kick up the biggest of fusses, but I was in a bad place. I was upset, I was crying, I was scared, I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't believe that my friends would make me feel better. I am really thankful that my mum and my dad said, you're going to go, you're going to give it a try, we're going to get in the car, we're going to take you down there. Sometimes Dad's already at work, I might get a phone call and he says, might bring some Smarties home, see how you go. That did help, but I still had to go along, and we'd usually stand in my hallway and Mum would pray with me before we left that God would be with me, and then I'd get to school and all I had left to do was to trust that God was going to be with me. Trust that I'd have a friend that would come and hold my hand, figuratively speaking, to make me feel a bit better. And you know, 9 times out of 10, actually pretty much every single time, I didn't want to go back home. I didn't get picked up. I had no choice but to trust in God and put my faith in him, to trust that he's there with me, to believe in the reliability and the ability of the God that I'm believing in, that he's right next to me all the time, and he has the ability to look after me, even when I know, kids, we can't always see him, can we? We're not always sure that he's there, but he is there, and that's part of us working in our trust to be able to do that. So we can't always see him. So it might be hard to trust in something you can't see. You might wonder, well, I don't know that he is. He's not walking next to me right now. He's not holding my hand. He's not carrying me through. I don't know. But if we practice that trust, to believe, to say to God, I'm trusting that you're right by my side. Like David must have been saying every day, I'm trusting God, you're right here in this field with me. I know how to get hold of a bit of food because I was out with the sheep. I know how to defend myself because I had to defend the sheep. But I'm on my own, and I'm trusting in you that you're right next to me. And if you practice enough, I think you have enough faith in you, all of you here, to know that God's with you, to practice that so much that God is there right next to you in everything. But how can I try and show you what trust can look like? I'm going to put a blindfold on. Tim's going to come and put a blindfold on. I've asked Emma, and I'm trusting her here, that she is going to give Tim and I something to eat. But I'm trusting that all of these things are edible. They might not be the nicest of things, but I'm going to trust her that they are edible and that I'm not going to die. I'm not going to fall over. I'm not going to be sick anywhere. So, Timothy, I don't know what I've put ourselves into it. Tim didn't really know this was happening, but we're very good at chucking Tim in these things. He loves us for it deep down.
I've actually played this game before with Emma.
No, we haven't done this with you before, Tim, have we?
Oh, man. Coffee, granules and ketchup, I remember rightly.
Tasty.
Emma, you are just... Oh.
Right, blindfolds on. You'll be all right.
What can trust? I'm trusting him. I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know where I'm looking.
Okay. Who would like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
I think we did a video of these while we were in lockdown a couple of times.
Hand out.
Hand out. Right. Am I just drinking this? Am I sipping?
Yep. Well, I would just go, I would not sip. Just. Yeah.
Right. Is that vinegar or something? Was that vinegar?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was edible. I trusted that it was edible. It wasn't that nice.
Okay.
My eyes are all squinty too, not just my mouth.
Timberlina, are you ready?
Emma, I really hate this game.
Oh, I should do this to you one time, Em.
I can't see what's going on. Am I doing the right thing? I've got a spoon. Okay. Oh, hang on. Okay.
In you go.
Oh, is it on the spoon, is it?
Yep.
Oh, is it okay to eat? Can someone just give me an... Are you sure?
Perfect.
I don't know, Tim. You're just going to have to trust Emma, aren't you? That it's edible.
Oh, you...
You badger!
That's disgusting.
Tasty.
What on earth is it?
Just spit it back in the cup, Tim, if you don't like it.
He doesn't have a cup.
Just turn around.
Oh, man. It's... Oh, I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. It's
a mix of things.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, man. What is it? Jam? No, it's not jam.
Is it sweet, is it? Got a sweetness to it.
It's like sweet, but it's also horrible.
Okay.
I have no idea. Go on, tell me what it is.
Okay, that is mustard that I found all the way up the top.
Ooh.
So, I don't know,
Mustard,
10,
yeah, I can taste the
10
mustard.
years old maybe. Sugar, bit of coffee granules, because I know that's your absolute
He
fave.
loves a coffee granule.
Sam, do you want
really
one
hate
more?
this game.
Sam, one more for you?
One more for me, yeah. I don't know where you are.
Yeah, just stand there.
Oh, man.
Tim, you're done now, if you like.
Tim, be released. Thank you, Tim. Well done. Trust in action. Timothy Miller. What a pro.
Okay, hand out, Samuel. Stop moving.
Oh, that vinegar's not sitting right. Tell ya. What am I doing with this?
Drink.
Drink?
Yep.
Oh, I heard it slosh. Was that milk?
Yeah, and it was here, and it was in date.
Yeah, we do keep in date milk here, Em.
Amazing. You can give me the cup. Here you go. All right, I'm off now.
Oh, that was nice. That's kind of nullified the vinegar. I thought I was standing straight. I love it when I take a blindfold off and I'm suddenly like over here. I do it a lot. Does anyone remember me doing the donkey for Palm Sunday? I had this donkey face on and the face was looking over here by the end of it. Molly sent me that and it was very funny this week. Thank you, Mel, for that. That was great. A little bit of trust in action. I had no choice then. We might have set it up a bit, but I didn't know what Emma was going to put. I need to put the glasses back on. I didn't know what Emma was going to put back in. I just had milk. It was really nice. In those cups, I had to trust her in that moment that it was edible. Practicing that. I have here, it's not quite a pendant that you might have made, but I have a key. And it says the word brave on. You guys have hopefully made your pendants something to help remind you, if you keep it with you in your school bag, around your neck, if you're allowed to have it at school, maybe not, but at least through the summer, because we're nearly there, you could be wearing it as a reminder that God's right by your side, that you can choose to trust in him in the scariest of moments. Hopefully, there's not too many scary moments for you in the summer holidays. They're meant to be relaxing and fun. But I have a key. In my second year at Moorlands, I went on block placement and I did some stuff with another church. I helped out with a lads group. It was really cool. And in one of the first times I spoke with these lads, I shared a little bit again about not liking going to school, but also that there was a point in my life where I couldn't stay away from home. I got a bit scared, I was a bit anxious, and I just opened up and shared these lads. And there's something called the Giving Key. You can get these online. They're based in Los Angeles. They get loads of old keys. They give jobs to homeless people throughout LA to help put these keys together. You can pick a word to put on the key, and then you can wear it and keep it with you. So this is the brave in my pocket. It's been in front of my face in my office to help remind me that I need to be brave. Because sometimes in my life, I have not been the bravest. I would say that I'm a scaredy cat. Those that know me and love me probably say you're being a bit harsh on yourself. But I think that at times I was. But when I've trusted in God and known that he's with me, he's pulled me through. Being up the front used to be not my favorite thing. And now you might think that I'm not very scared about being up the front. But I am. But I'm trusting in God to give me all the words that I need, all the things that I need to be able to talk to you and share Jesus with you, that you can trust him. And the idea with this key is, I'd sit with this and I'd use it, but there might come a day where I meet a person who needs this key. I would then give them this key that says brave on to help them be brave. I've not been prompted yet. I'll try and remember if I do. But you can take your pendants home, everyone here, not just the kids, those adults, if you've made it, get it in the oven, get it around your neck, around your wrist, on your keyring, whatever, to remind you that even in the scariest of moments, you might be alone, you might be with someone, you might still be scared, that you can trust God to be by your side through every single little thing, even in the scariest of moments. And I've had a few. I'm trusting that God loves me, that he's for me, that he's with me, that he lives in me, and he gives me the strength and the bravery to do all that I do for all of you guys here, but for everything that I'm doing in my life, because I trust in him without, most of the time, a second thought. Sometimes we might have a wobble, and that's okay. But our pendants, our giving keys can help us be brave, because you, all of you here that I'm looking at, all of you at home, you can be so brave when you're trusting in God. So let me pray. We're going to sing one more song together. Kids, why don't you stand up before we do this song? We need to have a quick stretch. We need to shake our legs off. Adults, if you need to shake your legs off, go for it. So let's kick our right leg, kick our left leg, stretch really high with our right arm, stretch really high with our left, and then we're going to do 2 star jumps. 1, 2, and then we're just going to bow to everyone around us. Thank you. You've just done some exercise. I don't do that often. Father, thank you that you are with us every step of the way. Thank you that even when we have to bow around to everyone and do some star jumps, you are right with us. When we're going back to our schools and our clubs and seeing friends that might make us feel a little bit scared, that you're with us. Help us to remember when we have our pendants that say brave on, that we can trust in you, that we can choose to do that because you are for us and you love us so, so much. We want to praise and we want to worship you because we know we can trust in you through everything. Just like David did, sat in that field, waiting for those arrows to come, whether it's going to go beyond and fetch or go to the side and fetch, which meant which way for the plan. But thank you that you are with David, and thank you that you're with us, that we can trust in you all the time. In Jesus' name, amen. James, thank you, buddy. Thank you, band.
As we wait upon the Lord, we will wait upon the Lord, we will wait upon the Lord. Strength arises, we wait upon the Lord, we will wait upon the Lord, we will wait upon the like eagles. Strength arises, we wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. Strength arises, we wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord our God. You reign forever. Our hope, our strong deliverer. You are the everlasting God. The everlasting God. You do not fade, you won't grow weary. You're the defender of the weak. You comfort those in need. You lift us up on wings like eagles.
Thank you very much, James. It is that sad time of the morning where we're done. Another week.
Yeah.
And next week we are going to look at the colour red. More angry stories.
Dear, more
My
angry
goodness.
stories.
Where he's
Will
gonna
Saul
seek
ever calm
revenge.
down? Do not seek revenge. Or seek revenge. Which one?
Do not seek revenge.
Good. You've heard it here first. Heard it here first.
Cool.
That's it. But I thought, quickly, I'm going to put myself on the spot. Can we remember the actions of our memory verse? Psalm 103, verse 11. As high as the heavens is above the earth, so great is the love of God for those who fear him. Psalm 103, verse 11. You can take those words
Very good.
with you.
Quite
I remember.
impressive.
Got a round of applause. That wasn't for that. I thought it'd be just good. We've got to keep practicing that.
We're going to say goodbye to those online.
Thank you so much for joining us. You're super
very
welcome.
soon.
We
We
will
hope to see you actually
super
here soon.
Fantastic. So take care.
Good.
God bless. Bye-bye.